What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. And today we are reacting to Jon Jones Bones original board film documentary. Make sure you go show them some love. Jon Jones is definitely the most dangerous man on the planet when it comes to all hands, feet, everything. He's definitely the most complete fighter that you can really have. Like close to the most complete fighter in all of sports that you can really have. And I know he's done a lot in the sport of MMA. But it would have been definitely been interesting for him to come over into to see like how he would have did in boxing. If he had a lot of more training into it. But even then, he's still a great striker. From what I've seen from his previous fights. I haven't watched a lot. I haven't watched all of them. I watched a good amount of his fights though. But he's definitely a complete fighter. Right now we're watching the documentary about him. So let's get into it.
Jones is the reason I started watching UFC because he was larger than life. He was so dominant.
He came out very low, almost crawling at him.
That's just it's just early in his career.
Oof! What a powerful leg kick that was.
Jon Bones Jones.
Woo! Wow.
Considered by many to be the greatest fighter to ever do it.
He's got a choke.
Oh, he's got that neck. Oh, damn. Did he start out at light heavyweight? I don't know. I know a lot of the weight divisions are kind of spread out in the UFC.
Jon was an elite,
so I don't know if he started out
to become a national JUCO champion.
But I dedicated my life to wrestling wholeheartedly.
When his girlfriend got pregnant, Jon faced a difficult decision.
Suddenly, I have a kid on the way, and suddenly my full scholarship at Iowa State was not there anymore.
He left college, walked into the Bomb Squad MMA gym, and began his journey into mixed martial arts.
Wow.
The very first day that he trained mixed martial arts, he did. Everybody in the gym was like, "This guy is now."
Working as a bouncer while trying to support a new family, Jones couldn't waste any time. Within weeks, he scheduled his first professional fight.
I had been training for about 2 months, and I took my first fight.
Well, Mark, we've got some light heavyweight action. The pro
Oh, he did start out at light heavyweight. I know he's a big guy, so it's kind of
He won.
kind of he got a skinny frame a little bit though, so I didn't know if he started out at light heavyweight. That's a mean ass takedown.
He flipped him over. Now he's raining some left hands down onto Bernard.
Ooh. Oh, he's out. Damn. Can you do that? Can you do that? Just kick the nigga while you on the ground. That's crazy. I know a lot of these companies got a lot of different rules, but I don't know why is that allowed in that company per se. Like that's crazy. Can you stomp on the nigga head while they down? Cause he seemed like he was already out.
And Jon has two brothers that are elite NFL athletes.
He does, yeah. I remember hearing about that.
Fantastic genetics.
I had no talent with the ball, so they had me a defensive line next to Arthur, a guy who's big and fit to be a defensive lineman. And I'm just skinny and next to him, and that's how I got the nickname Bones. And
Jones fought his second fight just one.
Man, it's crazy. Like when you look at like all the greats, most of the greats in a lot of the sports, a lot of them didn't even start out with their respected sport. Like LeBron, he didn't even start out playing basketball. Like he was mostly a football player before he went to basketball. John had a lot of, like, both his brothers, like you said, both his brothers was in football. They tried to get him into football, and he was like, nah, I'm gonna do MMA. You know, it's crazy how life really works out. Cause imagine if they didn't do that. You know, they wouldn't be the greats that they are in their respective sports. Cause they wouldn't have been in it. You know, it's crazy. Oh, this beat ass right hand. Damn.
He rattled off win after win, fighting 6 times in 12 weeks.
Damn.
To the UFC after only 9 months of MMA training, so I mean, which is really unheard of.
It was immediately clear Johnny Bones was one of the most unique athletes to ever enter the fight game.
Light heavyweight matchup, and here we go.
At 21 years
Ooh.
old, he made his UFC
Oh, hell
debut.
nah, man.
Spinning back kick. All right, somewhere in the middle of what I thought.
That, damn! How the hell do you feint a knee? That's crazy. He feinted his back knee and threw the left one. That's crazy.
Brought a realization for John that he was able to compete at the highest levels in MMA.
Then there's this other guy, Jon Jones. He's like a wrestler, but he's really skinny. He's young. He's green. And I'm like, oh man, I'll fight that skinny Jon Jones. Yeah, probably made the wrong decision on that one.
Damn.
John's wrestling experience is
Man,
obvious in his
them
game.
slams is crazy. If you ever been slammed before, you know, like, that shit just takes the breath out of you. Fucking WWE suplex, man. I didn't know you could do that.
Jones' striking that captured the attention of fans everywhere.
Oh! Damn! Ooh!
That first round.
His IQ is crazy. His ring IQ is crazy.
Good, man.
He displays remarkable creativity in the cage.
Ooh. Oh man, I couldn't imagine getting kneed in the fucking nose, man. I hate getting punched in the nose as it is, but getting kneed, bro, that shit, hell nah.
The journey that I'm on can go as far as I take it, and only I can
In
mess
his
it up.
10th pro fight, Jon Jones' first hint of controversy surfaced.
What's a good career without controversy? You know?
Demolished Matt Ham, earned him a DQ.
Was this his first loss? Or his only loss, right?
Now, is there a part of you that feels like you never...
Oh shit!
Even though you had the one disqualification...
Damn!
John is completely undefeated. He only has that one loss
Ooh.
to Hamill, which is a disqualification in a fight.
Damn! Yeah, I can see why that shit illegal.
No, can't do 12 to 6. The up to down elbow from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock is illegal.
So you make an honest mistake and throw an illegal elbow and have everything crash.
Damn!
Intentional elbows. There's been a disqualification of Johnny Bones Jones. Therefore, the winner is Matt Hamill.
I don't
Wow.
beat myself up about it. You know, now I know the rules, and you never see me going out that way ever again.
That's, yeah, no, I can see why that's illegal.
And I trained in Albuquerque, New Mexico at high elevation. I train at 6,000 feet above sea level.
It's not often that guys like this come along.
His range is crazy. For him to be that rangy, but yet that athletic.
And he's just got super athlete family. They're just, and he's huge. That size difference is so big.
In his first fight back from the controversial loss, Jones made a statement.
Damn.
I love Jon Bones Jones, man. He's the best I've ever seen.
Woo.
He's the
best in the world.
Oh yeah, that elbow fucked him up. That elbow fucked him up. Damn. Ooh.
Serious talent. Even just then when he just stood up again, he's huge. I mean, he's so big. He's a young guy. He's only going to get better, and he's very motivated and very smart.
The Ultimate Fighter Season 8 winner.
So he's been in UFC for probably about like 2 years at this point.
Who will truly be the next big thing? Will it be Bader or will it be Jones?
Next up, a fight to determine who would contend.
I wonder what happened to a lot of these other fighters that he fought.
High kick by Jones.
Constant offensive assault.
Ooh.
Looking for the shot. Stopped easily.
Catching fighters off
Wow.
with moves no one else was willing to try.
What the hell? Oh, he's just trying anything at this point. The nigga's just doing anything.
On his arms is he can get his fingers together when most people can't.
Yeah, he went
Damn.
right guillotine here.
Woo!
Twisted it. Oh, he got hands all over.
Wow.
Chokes out Ryan Bader.
Yeah,
Jon
man.
Jones' first fight in the UFC for a title, he's fighting Mauricio Shogun Rua, who is a legend.
Yeah. I'm fighting the biggest fight of my life. If I wasn't meant to be here, I wouldn't be here.
That's a good ass mentality to have.
Shogun and Jones, our main event of the evening for the light heavyweight title.
Oh. Oh. They both was thinking the same thing.
Legend of UFC.
At first, two right hands. I mean, right hand. Do that shit over the top. Oh. Ooh.
Johnny Bones brutalized the defending champion.
Oh, hell no. Damn. My knees hurt just looking at that shit.
Creative combinations, athletic spinning elbows, and kicks.
Damn.
Fighting Johnny Bones is a nightmare.
Stuff like that, he's just so creative in there.
Relentless.
Man, this nigga ain't got no mercy.
Made Jones the youngest champion in UFC history.
Ooh, body shot. Damn. You hate to see a good fighter go out like that, but sometimes it just happens. That's just the sport. You know, it's just combat sports in general, man.
And he might be the greatest talent that we've ever seen in the UFC.
Do MMA fighters really focus on weights, like weights and shit? I know boxers don't.
He's a freak.
Not mainly, but
most definitely is.
I wonder if like
It's crazy to
they
watch him
prioritize
train.
it
Just
more
super lasered in
than
and
boxers.
Title defense, he took on another
Rampage.
legend of the octagon. Rampage Jackson. One of the most intimidating fighters ever.
And he's the best ever at controlling distance. He does the finger at the finger range.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
The pokey range.
I remember this. I think they had to change the UFC gloves because of that, right?
Rampage rampage had never been stopped in his historic career.
Ooh, damn.
Chokes out Rampage, chokes out, he's just smashed everybody.
Rampage has not been stopped.
Nah, that's crazy.
That's what Jones wants, to be the first man in the UFC to stop quitting Rampage jabs.
Damn.
Jon Jones has defended his UFC light heavyweight championship.
Against Rashad Evans, Jones was pitted against one of his longtime friends and training partners.
How good is this?
So tense right now.
Ready, go. Here we go.
It's never good to knock out a friend, but you know, shit, me, you standing in my way, and that's it.
I felt like this was a pioneering performance.
That was a good shot.
Ranged elbows from Jon Jones.
Ooh. He measured and then elbowed off that. That's, man, that's crazy. You know, I'm surprised, like, a lot of UFC or MMA, you know, talent in, like, okay, so the way styles work in combat sports, a lot of it can't be replicated. That's why you see, like, in boxing today, a lot of fighters try to imitate Mayweather's style. Clearly, it's not working out for him. It's at least not as good as you know, Mayweather does it. Or Mayweather did it. Because it only really can work out for him per se. You got fighters like good as defensive fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Boots Ennis, Lomachenko. You know, good defensive fighters whose styles can really only work out for them. So when you try to have another fighter imitate another fighter's style, and a perfect example, Roy Jones was training Chris Eubank Jr. for his rematch. Yes, I think it was the rematch, or it could have been the first fight with Liam Smith. And Roy Jones was trying to get Eubank to imitate his personal style, and Chris Eubank Jr. ended up getting knocked out in like the first or second round. I can't remember. It was a couple of months ago. And he ended up getting knocked out. You know, Roy Jones is a great trainer, but you can't train someone to imitate a certain style when they wasn't built up off that style. You know, they don't have the a lot of it is due to body structure too. You know, Mayweather has a small head, so that's why a lot of his stuff, a lot of small head with kind of broad shoulder. That's why a lot of punches from other guys kind of just whipped off him. You know, and I think in MMA, you know, I would think like if a lot of people tried to imitate Jon Jones' style, it wouldn't really work out for him. You know, I think it would just be the same thing in boxing that it would be in MMA. You know, it just wouldn't really work out because of Jon Jones' structure and his body and his athleticism. Not saying other MMA fighters aren't athletic as or can't be athletic as Jon Jones, but I know that his specific style only works really for him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Devastating effect.
But Rashad Evans, there was no way he could have trained for this. It was offensive. No one in Rashad Evans' gym is going to be fighting like Jon Jones in this range, stepping in with elbows over the top.
He caught the body kick and came with a right.
It's not just the long limbs, it's the way he delivers.
Damn! That was a mean ass right hand. Ooh! It's a dangerous boy, man. It's a dangerous boy. I wonder why he didn't go up to heavyweight. I know he was on top of the light heavyweight division for a while. At least I think. I wonder why he didn't try to go to heavyweight, be double champ at the same time. Oh shit!
Jones movements allowed his arm to pop out of socket.
Ooh!
Jon is. Yeah. He didn't tap. He just let his arm get jacked.
Wow.
Might have popped his arm. We don't know how Jon's arm is right now. And then wound up tapping Vitor the next round.
Ooh. He almost got him though. Them submissions can really come from anywhere.
Yeah. Jon is, he's not just talented. Side kick to the body hurt.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
He hurt him with that side kick to the body. And now the axe kick the same way. Not good for Belfort. This guy's trying to get him in a mounted crucifix. He just needs to secure the right arm.
Oh shit.
Belfort.
Woo!
Now he's going for Cormier.
Damn.
Jon Jones remains.
Oh, that looked ugly. Yeah, like I was saying, them submissions could come from anywhere. Like, you can be getting your ass kicked the whole fight. You get one good submission in, it's over.
And here we go. He's so comfortable in world championship fights. He's had nothing but world championship fights.
That's all he knows.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Main event, and you're like, holy shit, this is the big one. Jon's like, this is a fight.
Another day
or
in
like
the office.
Wow. Ooh. Damn, man. The ground and pound ain't no joke.
You have to be so much better to beat them.
Fame and celebrity are powerful drugs.
I had this crazy thing that I would do where I would party 1 week before every fight, and I did it throughout my whole career.
I partied with
Wow.
him, but when he was partying, I would see him at the bar in Ithaca, and it would be like a couple weeks before his fight. This guy would be out there shots. And
I was winning, and
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. As good as Jon Jones is, I will say this: you can't get away with that in boxing. I know, like. You have, well, okay, let me say this. You can't get away with that in boxing where you're facing the top competition. Mike Tyson, for example. Mike Tyson in the 80s was the best heavyweight, the most ruthless heavyweight anyone has ever seen since fucking Joe Frazier. And he was just this top athlete who you would see do weird training methods, but it will work out for him. You know, it will work out for him in the end. And when he got in that ring, he was in tip top shape. But once he started getting that money, once he started realizing it's a lot to life, and he can use this money to get that, he started partying a lot. He started not training as much. And he only got away with that for so long until he ran into somebody like Buster Douglas. You know, Buster Douglas trained hard as shit, you know, to beat Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was out partying. I think it was a rumor that he partied that same day before the fight, if I'm not mistaken. And he ended up, like, it could have been the same night, but he ended up getting knocked out, right? As good as Mike Tyson was, and as good as Jon Jones is, it was only so much you can really get away with, you know. Like Jon Jones said, he partied every week before the fight. But I don't think you would have been able to get away with that in boxing, facing the top competition. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was starting to feel effortless.
As Bones rose to the highest levels of his sport, his focus waned.
But that doesn't mean, even if he did lose, that fighter was better than him. You know.
Barely training.
I did a lot of up to the fight. I definitely didn't give it my all.
As far as partying.
If he really worked and got in tip top shape, the fight probably would have been easy. You know, with whoever he was to fight, and if he was to lose, is what I'm saying. It's Alexander Gustafsson, I think.
Jones took on Swedish fighter Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah. They took him down. I think this was a controversial fight too. I think a lot of people said Jon lost this fight, if I'm not mistaken.
And there's a nasty elbow by Jon.
Oh, it's a good elbow.
Right to the side of the head.
Damn.
Right at the end of the round. They wanted to take some of that back.
Woo! Yo, imagine someone just sticking their toe in your eye.
The fight continued to go back and forth.
Just past the midway point of this.
I know this is This is a controversial match. But shit, why they rematch? I wonder why they didn't rematch. Ooh. It was saying he had to get a knockout. Ooh, the head kick. Woo. Oh, the knee. Oh, that knee would have connected. Woo.
Jones won the unanimous decision.
Was it unanimous? How does MMA scorecards work? I'm pretty sure they have split decisions, right? Split decisions, majority decisions, all that.
Unanimous decision, and still the
Wow.
UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Jones.
Hey man, what's a great fighter without a little controversy, you know? Oh, I love this rivalry, man. I love this rivalry.
Fighters burst over in a pre-fight presser.
Is there any chance, though, 1 week from today, that you guys end up earning each other's respect in the octagon and
Yo, this is crazy.
John, I'd ask you that first.
DC.
Daniel?
Yeah, these niggas had like pure hatred for each other, man. I think this was more than just
I dislike him because
this is more than just the UFC, just the fight.
2 years ago.
Sure.
I beat him fair and square, you know, no matter what he tries to blame the win on. The first time we were both undefeated, and I didn't know if he had that it factor. When you have an undefeated athlete, you don't know what, you know, if there's that chosen one, you know. And I thought maybe he could be the guy. I've always felt like I was the guy.
Ooh. I know DC wasn't no joke.
Jones handled his business.
And now that I've beaten him and I've proven that he isn't the chosen one.
Good straight left by Jon. Look the way he utilizes that reach that you talked about. Those kicks by Jon.
Oh.
I feel like there's really nothing special about him.
Like, Jon Jones is playing for keeps. He's trying to damage these people.
Was this the first fight? Because it was definitely a lot of controversy in this fight too. Because I think this was the one where he got tested for PEDs, which is not good. It's not good at all.
After the fight, Jones tested positive
Yep,
for
okay.
cocaine metabolites.
Oh, it's just okay. But I thought he got tested for steroids too.
Yeah, there was a car accident right here on Warrensboro and Southern Boulevard. The guy just hopped off into a yard. The guy that's getting out of the SUV.
A few months later, he was involved in a hit and run.
Former UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Bones Jones avoids jail time. The Albuquerque fighter cut a deal with prosecutors today for a hit-and-run crash.
It was humiliating and somewhat of a bottom for me, and I'm ready to snap into high gear.
He was stripped of his title.
The judge is allowing Jones
Yeah,
to
that's
travel
bad,
out-of-state
man.
and promotional appearances, but the UFC has not decided when he will be allowed to fight again.
A true case of no one being able to defeat him other than himself.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of. That's what happens with a lot of these fighters, man. You know, they are so good at what they do, but on the outside, man, it's just life just gets to them, basically. And they can't beat themselves. You know, they fight with themselves all the time, and they can't beat them.
and suspended for a year. Jon Jones returned.
Jon Jones opens St. Preux. Fight scheduled for 5.
When you're the most gifted athlete ever to fight, spectacular spinning elbows, face kicks, and leaping knees are routine.
Man, you should not be that high up. You should not be that high up. Wow, the way he manipulates the guard to land his elbows is fucking crazy, man. Like, what the hell? Can you, like, DDT him or something? Cause ain't no way I'm gonna be that high up and not try to land something back. Like, put me down. The fuck? Ew. Them kicks ain't no damn joke.
The fight secured him the interim title and lined up a rematch with DC. Unfortunately, he tested positive again.
Jon Jones has been suspended for 1 year after testing positive for a banned substance.
Okay.
First,
Yeah,
I
okay.
apologize
Down.
to all the fans who came out to support me for UFC 200.
Albuquerque police lapel video shows an officer pull Jones over.
That's sad, man.
Slapping him with 5 citations, including for drag racing and exhibition driving.
Driver's license, registration, insurance. Please turn your car off.
UFC fighter Jon Jones is expected in court tomorrow, the first time he'll make an appearance since APD stopped him for drag racing.
Yeah, imagine being in jail with this nigga.
You are held to a higher standards, and Mr. Jones has started to fail at probation. It has been a challenge for him. He's been given, this is his 3rd chance.
So it seems like a storm of stuff is coming his way. His career could be in grave danger.
Jones has been on probation.
That sucks, man. You know, you hate to see a fighter as good as he is just go through that shit, man. You know? But they do it to themselves, man. You know, they do it to themselves. You just hate to see it.
Now he attacks like some of your downfalls, right? Yes, and he
public downfall.
And yeah, they are public, but he seems to feast on them.
Is this guy gonna mess this up again by doing steroids or snorting cocaine or sandblasting prostitutes?
I messed up outside of the octagon. I got that taken away from me. But the guy's never beaten me. In order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion.
What he hates the most is the fact that he'll never be remembered because of the fact that I'm alive.
If Jon
Damn,
Jones
DC was 38.
Daniel Cormier would be the light heavyweight champion, and he would be undefeated.
The wait is over. Jon Jones is back for the first time since April of 2016.
After a year off, Jones entered the cage with his sights set on ending the rivalry.
Ooh.
Once and for all.
Ooh.
I believe I'm going to finish him by submission or TKO.
Oh, he fell right into that kick. He fell right into that kick. Ooh.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's
the best of the best.
He's out on his feet, man. Woo! Wow. Yeah, DC was out on his feet.
He was back on top of the world.
This was like 2017? Yeah,
Came
2017.
back positive for a banned substance. Jones was stripped of his title and suspended.
I wonder how much money he's left on the table with all these problems, especially with the attention that Conor's brought to the sport.
To be accused of steroids, you go from hero to zero immediately in some people's eyes.
Do you think that Jones should be banned now after his second failed test for a banned substance?
This time.
Yeah, I mean, why wasn't he banned? You know, I don't know. Taking PEDs in a sport like this, yeah, I don't know. This is not it.
Zero athletic performance.
You've never looked like a guy who's on steroids.
I mean, like,
it was accidental.
I wonder why. This is why. You know, you're as good as a fighter you are. What you need to take PEDs for?
He missed 16 months before returning for a match.
Oh, he did fight. He did fight in a rematch. Him and Alexander Gustafsson. I didn't know that.
Here's the thing, that dragon in rematches gets way better.
What year was this? This had to be like, what, like 2018, 2019 or something, right? I think I was watching UFC at the time.
Soon be the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion. This is a belt that Jon Jones defended a record 8 times.
I don't remember the rematch.
Jon Jones is back.
I wasn't watching it. I was like, you know, religiously I was tuning in sometimes. But if Jon Jones was fighting, I'm pretty sure I would have heard of
You
it.
get the feeling that every time he goes to start something, Jon Jones intercepts it.
Ooh.
Alex just got to get in that boxing range. That's the big difference in this fight has really been the leg.
Them calf kicks,
I would
man.
imagine this is how Jones would spar with someone that he feels like he can beat comfortably.
He took him to the ground and beat him mercilessly.
Wow.
He's on a run right now. That's what I think. I think they took it away from him for all
Boom, down. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, can you hit behind the head while they're down like that? Cause I seen a couple of them slip, or maybe they were intentional. I don't know, but getting hit behind the head, like that shouldn't be legal to me. I don't know. That's not good. At least if it's purposeful. I don't know if it's purposeful. Like, I know you can hit on the side, but some of them look like they slipped and hit behind the head. I don't know, man. I don't think that that's good. Like, I'm with all the brutality and shit, because that's just combat sports in general. But getting hit behind the head, nah, man. You would want all the fighters. And I'm not saying he did it, like, if it's illegal, that he did it on purpose. So I'm pretty sure if it's not legal, then they just slip. But you know, you would hate to see a fighter, you know, take damage like that, basically.
Very nice.
Ooh. Damn. Ooh.
Yeah, that got Smith's attention, seen in his eyes.
Yo, hey, wait. Do you have to clip your toenails in the UFC? I just realized that, right? Because imagine if, like, you don't have to clip them and you just cut your opponent with your sharp ass toenails. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you have to clip them, because that would make the most sense, right? Obviously. So like, just imagine if you clip them like a certain way and you just poke them with the motherfuckers. That'd be crazy.
Who the best fighter on the planet truly is.
Ooh. Oh shit. Damn. Oh shit.
From the soon-to-be and still UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones.
Jon Jones remains light heavyweight champion.
I couldn't imagine the betting odds against Jon Jones in a lot of his fights.
Santos opened with a series of devastating leg kicks.
Ooh. You know, that's it. That'd be a good way to kind of disrupt them. You know, chop the tree down.
The attacks kept Jones off balance for the
Yeah, you chop the tree down.
But in the second round, Jones timed the incoming strike and pulled his leg back.
Ooh. Oh, I think he broke his toe.
The awkward miss caused Santos to tweak his knee.
Oh, he tweaked his knee. Down.
Santos, maybe a one-legged fighter here.
Ooh. Shit.
Jones pounced.
Props to him for not giving up though. Ooh. Oh shit. Damn.
So Jon Jones and Thiago Santos go the distance.
Wow.
I mean, Dominic Reyes he's a hell of an opponent. You know, he's undefeated, extremely athletic. He's knocked out almost everyone he's gone against.
A career of total domination,
Ooh.
cloaked in controversy and self-destruction. Reigning atop his division like no other fighter in history.
He got good range. Range distance. I mean distance. He knows his distance. And he shoots his shot at an amazing range.
After defending his title against Dominic Reyes.
Like he doesn't have to overextend.
Worthy of his attention.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best of all time.
By far the best.
If he's not the greatest of all time, he's in the conversation. Nobody brings it home.
Yo, man, I definitely would have loved to see Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou. I'm not going to. I think that would have been the Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield of our era in MMA. And it is definitely sucks because I know that Francis Ngannou is not in UFC anymore. But I'm pretty sure he can work something out. If they want to get that Jon Jones fight, it's a lot of money involved in that. I'm pretty sure they can work something out to get that fight. So hopefully we get to see it one day.